Hey Knight-Thon friends, it's me Bella, and I'm glad that you guys are always there for me, and you guys, I love when you guys are on stage. Like, if any Knight-Thon friend is on stage, I'm thankful for all of you guys. And I'm so happy that you helped me and my sister Michaela. And I just love how you help kids and donate money to Arnold Palmer Hospital.
On paper, what was written down was that she most likely would not survive beyond 6 months old. And so we walked in and she was 3 years old, so she had already majorly defied the odds. We know from those early years that she was surrounded by love in Arnold Palmer Hospital. She was basically raised in those years on the 5th floor. She was considered the 5th floor's baby. So when we walked in, we had a little girl that was tiny, surviving on that IV nutrition, didn't really eat anything by mouth, and the majority of our days were keeping her safe because the central line was so dangerous. At the point that we got her, she had already survived infections that really she should not have. Summer 2016, we walked into a surgery at Arnold Palmer Hospital with the hopes of adapting that bowel a little bit further so that she could tolerate more milk in her stomach and tolerate the ability to move forward. We had worked really hard in intensive feeding therapy at Arnold Palmer Hospital, and they had actually, for the first time in her life, gotten her to enjoy food, and it was a beautiful gift. She now loves food, and she had certain foods she loved to eat. So we thought if we could just get through the surgery and help it out, then she'd have the best shot. And at that point, our team stopped and looked at us and basically said, she's got to go to transplant. By January 2017, Bella was listed for a 5-organ transplant. She would be listed for liver, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, and large intestine. Now we found ourselves facing something that was never supposed to be a reality for our child. And we didn't even fully understand that, but what we knew was we were watching her suffer and deteriorate. And we also knew that what we were walking into was still considered experimental. In the morning after Thanksgiving, we got the call that Bella had, that they had organs for Bella. And I remember that time was, like I said, 1:10 in the morning, and just that feeling of complete shock that the phone call had come. So there's a sense of, whoa, it's here, like, because we were so fearful of where she was going, but suddenly we were like, oh my goodness, it's here, like what do we do? And I remember we got everything together. I remember getting our older girls downstairs, a neighbor coming over, and everyone was shocked and in tears. It wasn't like a sudden joyful, it was a very just the tragedy and the weight of it all hit you. And all of my girls were in some level crying. And I remember it was just, you just didn't know what to do. And then at the very end, having to go wake Bella up, and when she opened her eyes and she's like, what are you doing? And we said, Bella, it's time. They have organs for you. And I just remember the tears, like, while she wanted it in that moment was just panic of, I'm not ready. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my sissies. I don't want to leave, everything was deep emotion. So like pulling yourself together in that moment to get out of the house was just tremendously hard. But all the same, we walked as a family, we walked down into it, and we released her into the hands of the surgeon the next night. With Bella's case, they were aggressive, they were quick, and eventually she was given medication, and to suppress, everything looked good, and in April 2018 we got to come home. So we've been here since, we're now into February, so almost a year. We're really essentially only a few months away, and most of that time has been spent at home. And you would never know it, because she sits at home making videos, dancing, laughing, riding her bike, swimming. And so she's experienced life and loves life, every single precious moment, even though what she wants to do is go to Disney World or go to SeaWorld or even just go play with friends or go to Knight-Thon events or go out to dinner. She's unable to, but she lives life. She just understands the preciousness more than most. This far out of transplant, you realize that transplant's not a cure. Where oftentimes we're looking for that cure for our child, and that's kind of the path that we wanted for her. But there's really not. And so what we've done is we walked out of one story into a different medical story that is just not going to go away. Our hope is that we can get a grip on this, and then Bella will have a chance at going to school, at getting to do things as a normal child. But she is so brave and so strong. And I say that because the strength for me and the bravery that we get to watch and be an example is when the child looks and says, I know a history of suffering that most never know in their lifetime. And I know the pain, and I know the darkness, and I know the aloneness, and I know what it is to suffer, and I know what it is to watch others suffer. But here I am, and because it's my life, I have to do it again, and I don't have the option to say no. And so that's the hardest part, I think, as a parent. So when I look at it and I'm like, what's the deepest level of bravery? What do I describe that as? And it's not because I can go and say, I've got this and I'm perfect, and because we can say, we do it great, look, we're smiling. It's because I can look in the face of tears and say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to be separated as a family. I don't want to worry if something's going to happen to me, but I have to do it. And so when I decide to do it, I'm going to go and do it with a smile, and I'm going to shine bright for those around me, and I'm going to encourage those around me, which is Bella's life. So the other kids down there, she's looking and saying, she can hear if there's a scream, she knows which child it is. And she can walk down the hallway and say, you've got this, you can do it. And so, you get to watch the miraculous happen, not in your own child's life, but you get to watch how it unfolds around you. And so that's where we are right now, is having to walk back into another situation of unknown. And when we come back from that, we don't know what that's going to be. Our hope and our prayer is that this treatment is going to eliminate the graft versus host disease, and that Bella is for the first time going to be able to step out into normal life. But no matter what, we are trusting God with that story as her story has unfolded all along. And we will continue to celebrate the precious life that has been given to us, and not just to us, but along this journey, all along the way, we have been blessed to sit back and watch how many people are a part of Bella's life, from the beginning in the hospital to those nurses, to the nurses in home care, to the stories that her coming into our life and the families around us, to Knight-Thon, to the hospital in Miami. There's nobody that she doesn't touch, and it's no accident. So it's the miraculous of so much more than just the medical. in what we get to see in this life. So we know that's what we get to walk alongside and what we get to see. And so we are just walking it out one day at a time. For us, from the standpoint of Knight-Thon and UCF and what the students are doing, there's really no words to describe like what that has been in our life. We walked in because we're passionate about Arnold Palmer Hospital and Children's Miracle Network. We walked in because our lives, we know the value of what's being done for families. Like we look around us and say, wow, like this is huge, and let us go back into that and share our story to people know. But what we've walked out from it is seeing the blessing back at us. So like our time along the way, our time that summer in Arnold Palmer and the people that the relationships we got and the students that come, the way our girls' eyes light up when a Knight-Thon student comes. I mean, Bellah just sees a UCF sticker and she's like, it's Knight-Thon. I'm like, well, kind of. And she, so everything, like the time that we were down there, the almost 5 months, the knowledge, the people that came to visit from Knight-Thon, the high school students, just the reality to be able to look when in the dark spaces that I sat watching my child fight for a life so far from home, and the way that it affected my older girls to look out and know, oh my goodness, there's a community fighting for us, and they're fighting for all the kids in the hospital. But when you're that family, it feels like you're fighting for us. It feels like there's just that realization, we are not alone. It makes such an impact. And so one day I'd love to say that there's more and more, the funds that there's going to be another family that doesn't have to sit that long. There's going to be another family that goes to transplant but doesn't have to do this treatment down there because the money's there, or doesn't have to go down there just for specialized labs because we can do it here. So the impact is, it might not be our story right now, but from Michaela and Bella's story over the past 14 years and 9 years of Bella's life, it has been the story, because there is much that has happened that I don't have to do anymore for that part of the story. For this part of the story, we are. But the fact that we have to go down there, the fact that we're separated as a family again, the fact that there's so much that we don't know. We may get stuck down there for long periods of time, but we do know that there's those fighting. So just keep fighting, because you are changing lives and you've changed ours, and we're so thankful.